Clarke has been confirmed as the first black woman to lead the Civil Rights Department in the Department of Justice. The Senate on yesterday voted to confirm Kristen Clarke to lead the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, making her the first black woman and the first woman of color to be confirmed by the Senate to do so. Ms. Clarke was confirmed by a vote of 51 to 48, largely along party lines. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine was the only member of her party to vote in favor of Clarke's confirmation. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the only black Republican senator, voted against Kristen Clarke. Now, Clarke is the daughter of Jamaican immigrants. She grew up in a Brooklyn housing project and earned degrees from Harvard and Columbia Law School. Here is Clarke being sworn in by Vice President Kamala Harris.
I, Kristen Clarke.
I, Kristen Clarke.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the same.
To the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties.
Discharge the duties.
Of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Madam Speaker.
Now, for much of Clarke's career, she has been a leading advocate for voting rights protections, and many expect Clarke to lead the charge on protecting voters from the many attacks on voting rights that is being headed up by the Republican Party across the country. Clarke made it clear during her confirmation hearings that she would use all of the tools at her disposal, including the Voting Rights Act, the National Voter Registration Act, and Uniformed and Overseas Absentee Citizens Voting Act, to ensure that eligible Americans continue to have the right to vote. And I'm sure this is why there was only one Republican, Susan Collins, who was willing to vote for her, because it is the goal of the Republican Party to suppress as many votes as possible. This is clearly seen across the country with all the legislation that they have been signing into law. When asked what America can expect from Ms. Clarke, Dr. Laura McNeil, chief legal correspondent for the Black News Channel, said the following.
Expect her to do what we've seen Merrick Garland doing, which is taking a more hands-on approach in ensuring equality in all aspects, not just housing, but we've seen Merrick Garland as the head of the Department of Justice also leading the fight towards police misconduct in communities of color. So we can expect her to increase the number of investigations into pattern and practice things that are going on in police departments, meaning that have a pattern and practice of racially harmful policies and practices, racially discriminatory policies and practices. We can expect her also to try to create more accountability for LGBTQ discrimination as well. So she will take a much different approach, Laverne, than what we saw in the previous administration, which they took a very laissez-faire kind of laid-back approach to enforcing civil rights here in America.
So this appointment is critical. We've already seen an about face in the manner in which Joe Biden's Justice Department, under the leadership of Merrick Garland, has approached investigations into the killing of black men by the police across this country, as compared to Donald Trump's Department of Justice, which literally turned a blind eye. The work of the Civil Rights Division will also intersect with the Biden administration's efforts to confront the very serious threat of domestic terrorism, which many officials have cited is being caused by white supremacist organizations. Despite all of these reasons, many of us are celebrating the confirmation of Clarke. It is perhaps because of these exact reasons that the focus on voting rights, the focus on civil rights, and the fight against white supremacy, this is perhaps the reason the Republican Party could not vote for her except for Susan Collins. And this includes Tim Scott, the black darling and the superstar of the Republican Party. He couldn't even take the route of Louisiana Republican John Kennedy, who, instead of voting against Clarke, decided to abstain from voting altogether. Of course, Tim Scott doesn't want someone like Clarke working to push back against white supremacy and racism in this country, because he doesn't even believe that there is racism in this country.
Today, kids are being taught that the color of their skin defines them again. And if they look a certain way, they're an oppressor. Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
So as you can see, Tim Scott has every incentive, or had every incentive, to vote against Kristen Clarke. But this is still a day of celebration, 51-48. She is now leading the Civil Rights Department. And this matters in a very significant fashion, because that is the department that is going to lead up the charge on protecting our voting rights. That is the department that is going to lead up the charge protecting our civil rights. And again, that is the department that is going to lead the fight against domestic terrorism that comes specifically in the form of white supremacy. This is great news. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Rebecca Zor is going to join us to enhance the conversation. And we have a lot more news and politics to cover, more like it or not, right after this.
Good morning again, y'all. We're going to get these I can't even get it out. We're going to get these patrons read off while we're on a break, but I'm going to do it in a special way just for you. In a world where patrons join every day, Tuesday, May 25th, multiple people join. New patrons include Duncan DC, Dustin B, Damani G. New Twitch subscribers: Gringo Guapo, Nix87. Nix87 gifted 2 community subscriptions. Station Worshiper subscribed for 5 months and cheered 100 bits. And our brother Goku, just saying, subscribed for 4 months in advance and gifted 5 community subscriptions. You too can become a patron and keep the show going. Patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Coming soon. You joining Patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Let me stop, y'all. I'm a fool this morning. Anyway, y'all, we're going to get into this music. Thank you so much again for joining us this morning, y'all. Get into some good music while we are waiting to bring in our sister from another Mr. Rebecca, y'all. It's Like It or Not. Welcome again. Good morning, Mom and Daddy. Good morning, Sensation.
It was just a misunderstanding. You waited in the rain for hours, and I couldn't say the right things. No, I checked your number twice, then I went home. But I wanna let you know that, yeah, everything about you.
Yeah, hustler, you stupid. I'm not gonna hulk out, I promise. Mark from Australia, good morning. Shout out Chuck Diesel. Shout out all our moderators, y'all, on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you're streaming from, wherever you're doing your thing. We appreciate you, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't see a lot of stuff. We appreciate y'all. Like it or not, y'all, we thank you.
Love is all around, so baby, what's your hurry? You don't have to prove us to anyone. You don't need to worry. Cool down now, stop it. Cool down now, hold it. Cool down now, baby. Cool down, stop it, give it love. Cool down now, stop it. Cool down now, hold it.
Alicia, I appreciate you, Alicia. Now, hey, do this since 1969. Good morning, y'all.
To meet my parents.
Shout out to everybody that's streaming this morning, y'all. We appreciate you, and we ask that you hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and follow us on Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Like It or Not Show.
Build up. Now I wanna let you know that, yeah, everything about you makes me smile.
Eric Killmonger, we appreciate you.
Be your best friend.
Shout out brother Latif, good morning.
I wanna be around you all the time. You don't understand, you don't need to worry. I meant everything I said, you don't have to search no more. Love is all around, so baby, what's your hurry? You don't have to prove us to anyone. You don't need to worry. Cool down now, stop it. Cool down now, honey. Cool down now, baby.
Marquez, I appreciate y'all know I'm a fool. That's all it is. Justice Draconis, we appreciate you. Natalie, good morning. Y'all, welcome back to the screen, Ben and Rebecca.
Good morning, Rebecca Azor. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you this morning?
Why am I not centered?
I don't
Is it
know.
me?
Why are you not saying? You moved.
I moved.
That was see, y'all. Listen, we're not. Y'all gonna come on here throwing each other under the bus at the beginning of the show. We got politicians to throw under the bus, not each other. How you feeling? You got your first round of vaccination?
Yeah. I did get my first round of vaccinations. That was cool. I was feeling super duper tired. Yes. Do you need me to move, Dwayne? I don't know.
No,
I don't want to move you.
You're good.
This way? Okay. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like 2 seconds. I talked to the
doctor?
pharmacist? Yeah, the
Pharmacist.
doctor. I spoke with him and he, was telling him what may have been my concerns. And I actually talked to my own doctor right before that too. And that's just me because I want, I have other situations health-wise and I wanted to make sure. And he was just looking at me like this.
Girl, you're gonna be fine.
Girl. And what else? And I was just like,
it's funny. We were talking about this yesterday. It was funny. Like, and again, everybody, go get your vaccination, please, so we can get back to some normalcy. Like, please, for the love of God, go get your vaccine. But we were talking. It was funny because you and I have stress in different areas. Like, you were worried about getting the vaccine because of your concerns, right? The other, all the things that you have concerns about. I was worried about. I was always stressing out over whether or not I got exposed to COVID because of my anxiety. And it's just funny how but when it came time to take the vaccine, I was good. I slid up in there, pop. I didn't think twice about it. I wasn't worried about it. But and also on my side of the family, like everybody in my family had already gotten Pfizer. So it was as close to me getting it as possible. So if it was good for all my members of my family, it had to be good for me. So I had that assurance, but I'm glad you were able to get there. When is your next, have they scheduled your next appointment?
yes, I actually scheduled my next appointment with my first appointment.
Okay.
And so
you're almost there.
I'm excited. Like, I don't know, because I feel like
The streets is calling your name.
they're calling me. They were whispering before, and I was like, now I got to quarantine, whatever. But actually, I just want to, for me, my fear was, I don't want to get it and then have that react to something because I just seem to be so sensitive with a lot of things. So like allergic, So I just wanted to make sure. But this time I was like, okay, you know what? I prayed on it. I've been encouraging other people to get it. And then people who were afraid to get it, I told them I'm scared too, but we can be scared together and, encourage one another. And I've maybe had like 5 appointments and stuff like that.
And
But
you've been missing them, or
I've been missing them, and then I canceled like 2, or rescheduled like 2 of them.
You sound like me flying on a plane. You know how many times I bought tickets to fly places, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, I don't trust that plane today, so I just won't. I won't get on. It's my thing.
Somebody's asking if my braces are off. I have on Invisalign. Yesterday.
Okay, because I was about to say.
Yeah, yesterday I went and I had some work done, so the braces are coming back, but for this month I have on Invisalign. So
nice. Yeah. But what I was going to say, y'all, it seems like what's really funny, and I'm just thinking about this now, like Rebecca said, she's mostly sensitive to like shots and certain things. And it's funny because the people that would be the ones that would be the most reactive to the vaccine are the ones that haven't had any reactions. Like me, I normally don't have any reactions to anything. I call everything. I call hell.
I was just sleepy, right. And And it's always in my head with it sometimes. So I'm like, gosh, like, am I going to be here by myself and I'm going to be just shivering and shaking it up and just hungry and nobody's going to find me. And I'm going to be at the door like this, just me being just over the top.
Dramatic.
And so I just kind of like had to just breathe. And then my sister, I was like, okay, I'm going to have my sister come over and just, kind of just monitor me. But then she came over here and annoyed me. So,
well, look, I mean, the main thing is you got it and you're one step closer. I actually got an invite to, to go play poker again with some friends for the first time in a year and a half. And everybody who's going is vaccinated. That's what to get in, you got to show your vaccination card. So I'm really, I don't know if I'm ready to be around people yet, but at least we're one step closer. Like, we are closer to getting back to some normalcy because, I mean, we've been isolated. All of us, we've been isolated. How long has it been now? What, a year and a half? We're going on a good year and a half of like February. So February.
Yeah. So were you in the house in February? Year and 4 months. I was in the house in February. Listen. There was a teacher. There was a teacher in our school district that was one school away from my kid's school who does a rotation at my kid's school who got the coronavirus last year in February. And so I was like, nope. We took him out and we start quarantining in February because I'm like, we ain't going to play that game. We had somebody in our office that had it too. We had somebody in our office whose child was in a school where they had coronavirus and the office didn't tell anyone. And I'm the one, me. Oh, they have somebody in the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoever this may concern, there was somebody downstairs and you guys didn't tell the office. And now I will be removing myself. And I sure did.
That's crazy. I was just on the third floor. We had somebody on our third floor in our building. We're on the fourth floor, but we share the same elevator, stairways, everything else. Break rooms. And then here it is. Y'all ain't tell nobody? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, listen, all those reasons and more, folks, please don't let all of these anti-vaxxers who are spread. I mean, and they come in all stripes and all colors and races. There's a whole lot of black folks out there who spread an anti-vaccination message. And listen, like your odds are way better with this vaccine than without. It's just like a scientific fact. You go get the vaccine. And Rebecca, I'm glad you finally called, because James, I think the first person I knew to get the vaccine was actually Marcus from Clickbaity. That dude got the vaccine in like January. I didn't even know like it was available to us back then. And then the next person was you, James. Like you got the vaccine like at least 2 months before me. And then I finally got it. And now we are the whole team. I think the whole team is David vaccinated? We'll have to check. He's not in this morning. We'll check with him. Yeah. All right. I want to jump to a couple more stories real quick as this morning gets going. Donald Trump is in trouble. There's more bad news for former President Donald Trump. Manhattan's district attorney has convened a grand jury that is expected to decide whether to indict Trump and other executives at his company, possibly including his children who worked for the company. In a story that was broken by the Washington Post, the grand jury was convened recently and will sit 3 days a week for the next 6 months, underscoring the amount of evidence that has been gathered against the Trump administration, or rather the Trump organization. According to the report, the grand jury is likely to hear several matters, including all of the evidence against Trump's company. Here's a clip of one of the reporters who broke the story for the Washington Post, David Farentold, as he describes exactly what District Attorney Cyrus R. Vance's investigation includes.
He's got more financial records, a deeper and more extensive record of Trump's business than anybody's ever gotten. He got millions of pages of Trump's tax returns and other financial documents. He only got those in February, so we don't know what he found in them. But we know a set of transactions that both the Manhattan DA and the New York AG have been honing in on, all of them having to do with whether Trump misvalued assets, misled either lenders or taxing authorities about the value of his assets to either get loans or to get a break on his taxes. That's what we know they're interested in. There could be other stuff that was in those taxes we haven't seen yet.
So to summarize, the Manhattan District Attorney's investigators are scrutinizing Trump's business practices before he was president, including whether the value of specific properties in the Trump organization's real estate portfolio were manipulated in a way that defrauded banks and insurance companies, and if any tax benefits were obtained illegally through the unscrupulous asset valuation. As we covered earlier this month, Cy Vance is the district attorney for Manhattan, and his investigation into the Trump organization has been criminal in nature since the beginning. We've also seen now that New York Attorney General Letitia James has joined the state level investigation with that of District Attorney Cy Vance, shifting her civil investigation into a criminal investigation. Here again is Letitia James describing the nature of what she has been researching and investigating into the Trump organization back in December on ABC's The View.
The investigation that we are ongoing is as a result of the testimony of Michael Cohen before Congress. And in that, Michael Cohen testified that, in fact, the financial statements of the Trump organization include information that the president, as well as some of his children, perhaps inflated his assets so that they can get financial terms for loans and for insurance coverage. In addition to that, they deflated those same assets for the purposes of evading and or avoiding tax liability. Our investigation is ongoing. It is a civil investigation in nature. However, there is a criminal investigation that's currently being conducted by the Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance.
And so now Cy Vance has convened a grand jury. It's going to be a long process because of how much information they have on Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump came out yesterday and said that this is the biggest witch hunt in history. Of course, he is going to continue to say that and try to make it a political thing. But this all took place. All these crimes took place before, or alleged crimes took place before he became president. And so we're looking at a real possibility that this will be the first president to actually be indicted on criminal charges. Now, I'm sure there was plenty of other criminal presidents before this. But this one, Donald Trump seems to be reckless enough to actually have put himself in a position. Here's the thing. Love to hear what either one of you think about this. Here's the thing. Like, if you know you're doing dirty, why run for president and know everybody? I mean, people are going to look at every single. You can't even really run for Congress without everybody looking into what you've done. But Donald Trump, like, high key has been doing this for years. Yeah. And figured he could, it doesn't matter. He could run for president because nobody can touch him. I don't see how people, I know it's like white privilege, and I know it's like arrogance and ego, but exactly, Rebecca. It's a special kind of privilege to think you can get away with that on a
he has though. He's gotten away. He has gotten away with a lot that we thought maybe, this for sure will get him. This is going to be the one. We done did so many stories and we talked about so many things that could have had him behind bars, anything. But, under the jail, this man had pending cases against him for possibly touching kids, like younger, minors. So this to me, is ridiculous that he has gotten this far. So honestly, I don't expect anything to really happen.
Right.
In some way, this man is really, truly protected. I don't know how, other than his white privilege, but when it gets to a point where we're all talking about it and, unraveling and putting together the pieces, and it's not just one thing, it's so many things. Right. And he is was in power, and it just it to me, I don't know, maybe he has people's balls in his hands. Maybe it's like he's
got something on these folks.
He has something on each and every one of them. And so they don't want to be, they got to keep supporting him. And that's the only thing that I can think of when I notice how dumb his supporters are that are, that are actually
That's the
have positions
celebrity.
of leadership. So yeah.
That's the celebrity part of it too, right? His supporters look at him as a guy. They worship him like he's their idol. He's a celebrity. And I think the money, the white privilege, the money, and the celebrity are all ways that he's been able to get away with it for all these years. But like, man, at some point, no, let me take that back. Actually, I'm going to agree with you completely. I honestly don't know if they're going to find anything here to actually indict him, let alone actually find him guilty, let alone actually see jail time. Like a lot of people on the Democratic side of the aisle, they love posting memes and stuff of Donald Trump behind bars. But to get a former president, billionaire, celebrity, and idol who is worshipped by his base actually in prison, I think maybe you're right. I think running for president was probably the best way to avoid any accountability, because we rarely see presidents being held accountable for any of their other crimes. So why would they start now with Donald Trump? But I'd like to see it.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But at the same time, I think that he also developed a lot of camaraderie with the people that he's worked with that are in leadership, probably offered them money, probably, knew about things that they've done that would have them underneath the jail as well, but, offered them protection in some way, shape, or form. Bailed them out financially. It has to be things that he did. And Donald Trump is smart in that way. He's a businessman and he's also a celebrity, and he knows how to move in those ways. But he, but as president and disobeying law, there was so much that this man has done.
So many things.
Much.
Every day.
We still have him.
Every day he got away with something. Every day he got away with something, and it's very likely. But let one of us have done anything. Like we can't even carry a nickel bag without damn near getting shot by the police, right? We can't exercise our Second Amendment without. I'm just being real. Just think about it. We run a traffic light, man. It's likely we go to jail.
We die running a traffic light.
Right. You know what I mean?
Let it be the right officer, please.
Right, like we can't get away with nothing, but just the level of stuff that this man, the level of crimes that he's been accused of, and he's just no accountability whatsoever. And so, I mean, of course, now he's crying that this is a witch hunt. Of course, he's going to say that, and of course, his people are going to believe it. And that's how they're going to fight. They're going to fight back against this as a political matter, and they're going to try to obstruct justice as much as. And now that it said obstruct justice, this man literally got away with obstructing justice as president of the United States. Like he made Richard Nixon look like a Boy Scout, like
this man has. It's above me.
Yeah,
I don't know. And it's above Donald Trump. That man would be like, he literally be like, it's above me. It's above me. Oh, y'all want to play with me? Don't forget, I got something on that. And then it's like,
right.
People that have worked with him literally stuck right beside him. They stuck right beside him. But even when they stuck right beside him through it all, it's like
some of them went down.
But they came out, told their story. Some of them went down, and this man was still standing. My God.
Right.
Yeah. Now I give it to him. He's Teflon done because nothing really sticks to him, right?
Literally Teflon done.
And that really speaks to how powerful, rich and powerful people can get away with hell. They can get away with murder. Right. They literally can get away with murder. And in this case, Donald Trump is able to get away with all these tax crimes. That's bank fraud, insurance fraud, obstruction of justice. The list goes on and on and on. And this is a real test to see, like, we look for justice in. We look for justice in these police cases, and we use that as a measure of progress. Like we got a conviction with the Derek Chauvin trial, right? And so that to us is a signal that maybe we can get justice in this country. But on the flip side, you have a president of the United States who's broken every. We cannot get away with 1% of what Donald Trump got away with, and yet he's able to be free. So that's the other signifier of justice. Are white rich men going to be held accountable like poor black men are always overly held accountable for the most minor thing in this country? I
Somebody said you're looking real presidential today. And I can't unsee.
Rebecca missed it.
You missed it. You missed the
what did I miss?
Yeah, the roasting. It was behind. Yeah, they said I look like James said I look like I was going to go lie to
like
the GOP.
A crooked politician. Yeah,
you are giving that. This
I can do Tim's like I shave my beard and do the Tim Scott and just really represent.
Man, only thing you need to do is do whiteface and put on the blonde wig. You be like Trump.
Oh Lord Jesus. Lying to the people for a living. That's what that pays well apparently. Shoot, like man,
right.
I mean,
it does pay. I mean, it pays well to be on the. Don't get me started.
Side. Look, I was just about to say,
Rebecca,
had I decided to pull a Candace Owens. Oh man, I'd be so rich right now. You know how much they love to pay black folks to come over there and dance for white supremacy. So yeah,
and they knowing that we once were marching for the right thing, they're gonna love that because they're gonna say, well, what had you come on to over to this side? What made you see the light? And then I'm gonna look right into the camera.
Cha-ching.
And my ancestors are gonna be talking in my head, but then I'm gonna be like, listen, we're gonna be good.
We're paying these bills
for a few, for some years. We're gonna be good.
This is how we gonna get free. That's Candace Owens reparations, lying to America for white people. That's her version of reparations. How the hell did we even get on that?
Right, Tim. What's his name? Tim Scott.
I said we weren't gonna go there.
Yeah, Tim Scott, who couldn't even vote for Kristen Clarke. Like, how are you the only black Republican and you can't vote for a black woman who has a distinguished resume, education, the pedigree, all the experience necessary to serve on the Department for the Department of Justice and the Civil Rights Department, and Tim Scott, it was just too. He had to vote against her. Like he couldn't even do what that country Bama from Louisiana Republican John Kennedy, who decided I'm not going to even vote. He said, I'm going to abstain from voting. Tim Scott said, nope, I got to go. I got to represent my people and vote against this black woman. So, I mean, I guess that's how he pays his bills. So I can't.
I mean, we have people like in power, in positions. I'm always going to mention him because he's trash. And I can't say trash too well because of these damn Invisaligns. But damn, Daniel Cameron, I never seen trash transform itself to look like that man. He is trash.
AF. AF.
Yeah. Nah, he is definitely
just trash.
Just
trash.
Wait, he's from. I was going to say he's from Kentucky, and so he's trying to get. He's Mitch McConnell's good guy. That's my African American.
He's just a good boy.
Yeah,
he's a good old boy.
And so he's trying to make he's trying to make his way up the political ladder through the Republican Party. And I get it. If you only have like so much talent, it's hard to shine when you're around all these other people who are just like hella talented. Like, black folks, we got skills. We got the skill set, especially in this political game. We know how to speak truth to power. We know how to break this down. We know how to do it with a little sauce. And
from experience as well, from a lot of the stories that we discussed.
We live this. Because we lived it. So there's a lot of voices over here, and it's not, you can't excel on this side being mediocre. Right. Let's just make it clear. Like, as a black person on this side of the equation, now we got some mediocre white people on our side of the equation who just been occupying space and snatching up all the money in these leftist spaces. But I digress. But as a black person, you cannot be mediocre and rise and foment to the top. And so Candace Owens and Tim Scott and Daniel Cameron, they said, oh, well, I'll take my talents over to the Republican Party. Anyway, and now they're stars. They're stars in that lane because, well, they're probably like one of 10 black Republicans over there. But I digress. I want to talk about some more Republicans. Here's the thing. I know y'all like, but I don't like. A lot of people say, why do we give airtime to these people like Tucker Carlson? We're not going to talk about him today, or Marjorie Taylor Greene. We are going to talk about her crazy ass. It's not as though, listen, these people get millions upon millions of viewers in real time on their shows, like on Fox News. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a congresswoman. And while we don't like to and we don't enjoy talking about her, her comments can't be ignored when they're as toxic as they have been and as large of an audience that her comments reach. Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy issued a statement condemning Marjorie Taylor Greene's recent comments comparing mask wearing to Nazi Germany. And this is what he said in his statement. He said the following, quote, "Marjorie is wrong, and her intentional decision to compare the horrors of the Holocaust with wearing masks is appalling. The Holocaust is the greatest atrocity committed in history. The fact that this needs to be stated today is deeply troubling. At a time when Jewish people face increased violence and threats, anti-Semitism is on the rise," and this is his gag, "in the Democrat Party," right? Because, yeah, right, Kevin McCarthy, "and is completely ignored by Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Americans must stand together to defeat anti-Semitism in any attempt to diminish the history of the Holocaust. Let me be clear, the House Republican Conference condemns this language." Now, in a response, Greene quote tweeted a Twitter account that replied to Kevin McCarthy, and the reply to Kevin McCarthy that Marjorie Taylor Greene quote tweeted referred to her leader as a moron and as a C word. And here's a graphic on your screen. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. "Thank you for seeing the truth and how much I support Israel and stand against the left's support for Hamas." Well, according to CNN's Jamie Gangle, she said the following. Take a listen.
What made Kevin McCarthy finally speak out on this?
The key word there is finally. My Republican sources are saying that both Republican donors, very important, and Republican members pushed McCarthy to do this, that they were embarrassed and that they were frustrated and that they would like him to go further, that members really would like her expelled from the conference, but they don't expect McCarthy to do that. One said to me, quote, "Kevin should do it, but I doubt he will." A second source says, "Donald Trump likes her, Marjorie Taylor Greene. He supports her, and Kevin doesn't want to upset Trump." We're hearing some talk about a censure, maybe, but I think the real question is how much more pressure there is. Does she keep doubling down? And what does Donald Trump have to say? I'm told by a source familiar with their relationship that the two men are talking regularly and that it is very likely that before Kevin McCarthy even did the statement today, 5 days later, that he checked in with Donald Trump.
How much of all this is about McCarthy's ambition to be House Speaker?
All of it. It's 100%. But here's the question. He wants Donald Trump's support because he thinks that's how they get control of the House in 22. The problem is that Kevin McCarthy, one source said to me, needs to learn to do math. If he is alienating his members by not leading on something like this, we already know Adam Kinzinger has said he won't support him. Liz Cheney won't support him. What about the 35 members who voted for a January 6th commission that Kevin McCarthy did not want? So he may be alienating the very votes he needs.
So Kevin McCarthy is trying to get the blessings of Donald Trump, and his closeness and his relationship with Donald Trump is why he won't distance himself from Donald Trump. But he sees that he has to distance the Republican Party from Marjorie Taylor Greene because of how, quite frankly, no more qualifiers, how ridiculous and how dangerous this woman really is. But speaking of how close Kevin McCarthy is with Donald Trump, CNN's journalist there is quite accurate. Listen to this clip of Donald Trump speaking about that very thing on Newsmax just last night.
For you all going into a runoff and voting for me. I also want to say something else. I think that this is a time where.
Okay, all right, that's the wrong clip, but we're going to come back. Here's a clip of Donald Trump on Newsmax last night.
You know, the election was a fraud. It was a rigged election. And when you look at what they did, it's so illegal. So I think things are happening at a very fast pace, much faster than people understand.
Sure. And listen,
the blow up over all of this, the reason that Kevin McCarthy is having to come out and speak about this, the reason why they are trying to distance themselves from her is because she regularly compares herself and her fight with Nazi Germany. And a recent video resurfaced from June of 2020, where she literally is making the case for why Hitler statues and statues of Satan should be allowed so that statues of Christopher Columbus would not be taken down. Take a listen in.
For you all going into a runoff and voting for me. I also want to say something else. I think that this is a time where our nation is being divided, and we shouldn't be. We should be brought together because this is the greatest country in the world. And we, like the other man was saying about breadcrumbs, I don't think we should be fighting about breadcrumbs. I think we should be working to come together and work further to keep things good and keep peace. We're seeing situations where Christopher Columbus, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, all kinds of statues are being attacked. And it seems to be just an effort to take down history. And whether I see a statue that may be something that I would fully disagree with, like Adolf Hitler, maybe a statue of Satan himself, I would not want to say take it down. But again, it's so that I could tell my children and teach others about who these people are, what they did, and what they may be about. So as a congressional candidate, I just wanted to come forward and make a statement, and thank you all for hearing everyone in your community, and also let voters know where I stand on the matter, because I'm looking to work for everyone here, and I felt like it was important for you to hear me. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, was that her?
That's her.
I mean, I know. Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. We are not. I know that there's been this whole conversation surrounding, like, you got to dress how you want to be treated, and I know everybody's like, that's not true. And then, and I get that. I definitely understand it.
She's running for Congress.
But nah, man, I don't even, what the hell was she wearing? I would take her at her word, and her word was her outfit. I don't know. She had on the Karen mom. It looked like she had on the sandals where the heel. I don't know what shoe she had on, but it was giving where the heel is a bit dirty. You know how they be with the heel a bit dirty with them slides from Old Navy.
Are you calling her a dirty foot?
And the shirts and the shorts. And it was giving, like, it was still giving, I want to speak to your manager at Old Navy. Like, because she's at Old Navy shopping. She was giving the I'm an Old Navy mother, soccer mom driver, and
definitely going to come knock on your window and open your door if she don't like the way you drive.
Yes, you need to move. You need to back up. I'm trying to come out of here.
Yep. Yep. And she was giving that. But that's, how can they take this woman serious? But all this time, I feel like Black people were being rejected these positions. We doing 6 jobs, dressing like Benjamin Dixon this morning to go.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
To go and get these seats, and this woman is walking before Congress dressed.
Find a way to work this thing in here.
And then she's talking about Hitler and Satan statues. And she gets a seat. I just really would love to know. Like, we have the bar is so low. The bar is just so low. And we literally, we might be street looking or whatever, but we'll cut our dreads off. We'll stop putting color in our hair, all kinds of things. Start dressing really, really white supremacist like, and still not get the position.
She didn't even got it. She won that office. I done tightened my tie up instead of having it loose since y'all gonna say I'm trying to let me button my jacket up.
She was looking like the little kid that got sent to school for pictures.
The tie was off. The tie was over here. It was.
It was given like he was about to go sell insurance.
Yes, he does. He's giving the insurance salesman.
All I did was put on a tie, folks. That's all I did. A coordinating tie. It's
the white, the navy blue.
I haven't worn this tie in
be an American.
Yeah.
It's giving that. I'm sorry. It's giving that this morning.
Oh man!
I'm sorry, audience. I know yesterday was
next candidate for senator of the United States of America, Benjamin Dixon.
See, but here's the thing. I'm smart enough not to run, right? I'm not gonna be like these dummies who got all this stuff, and I ain't even got that much to bypass. I got much of nothing to bypass, but I ain't running for now office because I ain't got time for people to be putting private investigators following me everywhere I go. Nah. So anyway, but to your point, like, yeah, we doing 10 jobs. We have to present ourselves. Like, there's no way in hell a black person or hell a brown person could be running for Congress and come up there looking the way she did, but let alone saying the dumb stuff that she was saying. Like,
it was dumb.
Like, she really thought she was saying something deep. Germany doesn't even allow statues of Hitler in their country because they understand what it represents. But here she is arguing, like, and this makes sense to them, right? To them, they make it seem as though this is like the most prolific thing they ever heard. And at the end of the day, we looking at them like, you so stupid. How are you this dumb?
Ben, we talk about their stupidity, and then we sit there and we're like, why? And she's dumb. Like, she is really disrespectful. She's created.
I thought you were gonna say she's disrespectfully dumb. Like, that's a new.
No, but that's good though, Ben. We should use that.
Right.
Look, the tie is giving him Ben power. Yes, disrespectfully dumb. But
you so dumb it's disrespectful, Marjorie Taylor Greene. God damn.
And her conspiracy theories have stressed itself and made its way also to the Congress, and they allowed it. So she's been on this. This wasn't when she got the seat that she's become a liar and pushed her lies forward. She's always been that. And they watched her and they heard her. And those people heard that woman say them words and said, wow, she fits the description. Oh, yes, we need something as dumb as her. As dumb. This is dumb as a sack of bricks, because this is going to be, and especially because she's a woman. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We're going to say that this works. This works.
Read those.
Paige Keaton in the send super chat. Marjorie Taylor Greene's. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That's exactly how she presented. Oh my God! Like, it is too much. Like, how far down the road of stupidity will the Republican Party go?
They still got you thought we've reached
we thought Donald Trump
the bottom, right? We thought that was it. We hit that, but no.
They reached over to the trailer park.
It's a black hole. It's like looking down a well. It just keeps on. It's just dark. It's just deep and dark, and then they just keep on finding ways.
The black hole of stupidity. Oh my God, right. Rebecca, we coming up with some gems today. Disrespectfully dumb. And the black hole of stupidity that is the Republican Party. There's never anything that is.
Savage Sweetheart in the chat says, look like she got raw chicken legs.
Oh my God.
But a black woman couldn't come in there because it would have been too much in the back, carrying out the shorts.
I wasn't thinking about it from that perspective.
She was carrying out the shorts. Look, because we can't, for some reason, it offends white America. It does.
Right.
It offends some black folks. It offends some. You know how many black folk we would, if a black person had gone up there dressed like that, I don't care what they were running for. If Barack Obama ever came out looking like anything less than $2,000 suits, black folks would have drugged him for filth, and he would not have got anywhere out of the Chicago.
We're gonna accept a tan suit for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Why does this kid call me in the morning? Wow. But we're gonna accept the tan suit for sure, but we will not accept him, especially in 2008.
No,
we would have never accepted him in jeans, a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have accepted that at all. So yeah,
and they did in my when you wore that tan.
We would have been like,
I remember that.
You remember that? And it was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time. I loved it.
Wasn't that his Easter suit? Like that was Easter Day, and they were like they lost their minds over it. That's ridiculous.
Man, lost it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene step up in front of them and wears trailer park trash outfit. And I'm sorry for anybody who was a trailer. You know what? I got to get off the mic this morning. It's the shot. It's that damn shot.
It's the shot. See the side effects go.
It's the vaccine. Just make it. The only side effect is you don't give a damn no more. You just say what you got to say.
Yeah, it's true.
But in general,
I can say what the hell I want to say. I'm vaccinated now. Shit.
Wax and vax, baby.
What black or brown person could get away with?
You see, she got them tails
off the back of the slides.
I didn't see the shoe. I didn't see it, but I knew.
She looked like she's supposed to be cleaning the house right now. Like this is what you clean the house in. This is what I wear. I don't wear. Like, this is what you wear, whatever you want to around the house. She came out of the house dressed like this to tell the world that she thinks Hitler statues should still be up.
Marjorie, she was kind of thick back then. Look,
you see, she got a little thick.
Look, evil done stripped it away. She done stripped it away. Evil. See,
she's looking like death.
Right. Once they start acting like that, they all start getting this. It just starts like they become the Grim Reaper. Like they just get really skeletal. Like they just start aging 10 years. It's terrible. But her heels are giving. I walked on the floor barefoot everywhere, from the outside, the inside. I went inside the store barefoot.
This is the I let my dog kiss me in the mouth look. This is what she was like.
Look, forgive us, but we will ride Marjorie Taylor Greene in. Now, for anybody else, I'm not an advocate for people saying that your outfit, makes you in some ways, but like me, for a journalist, they'll say, "Oh, I don't need to wear whatever. I don't need to wear big earrings, colored lips, but it's me, and I'm gonna do it, right?" But Marjorie Taylor Greene, for this position and how they treat Black folks in that position, and how we have to do 6 jobs, and because Marjorie Taylor Greene is trash, I'm gonna ride her, and I believe that her heels are dirty.
Look, somebody in that age said if she had on flip flops, I bet the bottom of her feet looked like they had birth certificate ink on them.
Yo, remind me of this picture I seen yesterday. It was a picture of some baked chicken, and it was a white person foot next to it, and the comment said, "How your feet more seasoned than the chicken?"
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my God! Why are y'all like this?
Because I came on the show this morning because I was watching y'all yesterday. I said it's so peaceful. It's right here. It's very productive. And then here go my bald headed behind just coming in.
How you see? I can't. Rebecca, you missed it. I started with the shits this morning. I can't wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh man. How your feet more seasoned than the chicken?
I apologize. But that was a good one, Glenn. I need to see that picture. Yeah.
Oh man. Lord. But this is the Republican Party. This is your woman. This is your girl. This is your peoples. This is who you are. This is what you don't back away from it now. Because if Trump likes her, here's the thing. Here's the catch, y'all. If Trump likes her, ain't nothing they can do to get rid of her. They can't possibly go against Donald Trump. Donald Trump run that party. So they stuck with Marjorie. And I guarantee you know what? She probably thinks she can run for president. I mean, hell, she might as well. Donald Trump ran for president and won. So this is the future of the Republican Party.
Maybe she's trying to get to that place where she can run for president, or at least be in the photos where they're signing those dumbass laws like anti-abortion and all those other laws that disrespect people, and anything that's really anti-Black laws, and they're signing them. And she wants to win her position in the room with those white folks. And
I think me and James are laughing. Oh no! Don't put that on. I don't want you to put that on the screen, Dwayne. We'll put the link in the chat. We'll put the link in the chat on Facebook. This is if your feet was more seasoned than your chicken. But Bub, I think we're laughing at the same chat. Go ahead and read that one.
Dude, I'm joking. Unseasoned was an outfit, man.
They say if
That is
unseasoned was
definitely-
an outfit.
That is clear, unseasoned. That is that. is
Oh
definitely-
man. Goodness.
They got different levels to their uniform.
I don't want to put that picture up, man. That foot.
They got
that
different
foot,
levels to their uniform.
That foot looked more like it's unseasoned. That foot looked like it got leprosy. I'm not doing that to people this morning. People try to eat their breakfast. We're not putting that on the screen. but I did put it in the chat room. So go ahead and click on the link if you.
Oh, Jesus.
And I encourage you not to be eating breakfast when you click on that link. Oh man. So anyway, we coming up. We actually are at the end of the hour. Before we go, I want to do this a couple of clips here from it's a couple of images, and this is of Gianna Floyd. This is the daughter of George Floyd, who was killed 1 year ago yesterday and murdered by Derek Chauvin, who has been found guilty and awaiting his sentencing. That said, yesterday, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris hosted the Floyd family as they marked the 1 year anniversary. And these are some images that we're going to bring up on your screen of Gianna Floyd being ushered into the White House and the door being held by a Marine. And it's just, there's some precious images. We have a couple of them I want us to take a look at. And she is... the little girl, she's special, and not just because of what happened to her, but she grew up so fast. And this last year,
baby yesterday.
Well,
I feel like
we have a video, and I want us to look at this video. You can see how much of a baby she was. This video is, I think it's no more than 2 weeks after her father was killed. But this is her smiling and recognizing that even though her father was killed, that he did something special. Take a listen in to her. She says her father changed the world.
Look at her.
She is, oh my gosh.
Daddy changed the world.
Daddy changed the world.
Daddy changed the world.
He did what?
Daddy changed the world. Daddy changed the world.
I love that video. That video makes my heart hurt, but I also love that video. So good morning to you, Gianna. You're going to have a bright, beautiful, brilliant future. Your daddy changed the world, but I believe that little girl, she's going to change the world herself. And she's going to make her father proud. Yeah.
And I hope that it doesn't, I hope that her plight is different from a lot of people who lost their fathers and fought for their fathers and had that pain and bared that pain. Like, Erica Garner, I think about her when I see that too. And although there's a massive age difference, but that's losing a father, losing a parent, and having to fight that fight. I believe Erica Garner also changed the world, and it made. I believe that she definitely took on that pain, and becoming a mother herself, and now her kids. Hopefully, they'll be able to change the world. It's so much. It goes down, and hopefully at one point that generation of pain is broken somewhere.
Right.
And all the loss and all the work will be something that shows in America. Hopefully, I pray.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that there will be a generation born that won't have to change the world because we already got the work done. At some point, we got to get the work done for our kids. And so shout out to Gianna Floyd, who beautiful little girl who is going through this with as much grace and poise and heart and compassion and love and joy as you can imagine anyone considering what happened. But yes, indeed, George Floyd, I mean, that man changed the world in the sense that, Derek Chauvin, I'm going to say it from the opposite side. Derek Chauvin didn't realize what he was doing when he knew he was killing that man, but he didn't realize that by killing that man, he would turn the world on its head and he would become the centerpiece, the example of just how savage the police can be in this country, particularly to black people. So I hope those 9 minutes were worth you going down in history forever remembered to be a barbaric savage that did not care about black lives enough to get off of George Floyd's neck. And so in his own twisted, sadistic, barbaric, and savage way, Derek Chauvin changed the world because he showed us just how inhumane cops are towards black people. And now everybody has been awakened, and we're showing now that black lives absolutely matter. So that's all I got for the public show.
And
Go ahead,
Goku in the chat real quick said, turn that pain into a beautiful and powerful light to the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's gonna do that. I think
I believe it.
she don't realize she got like 100 dozen uncles now. She got like 1,000 aunties now. Like everybody gonna be making sure that little sister.
She got some tatis, some aunties, some uncles, some uncles. Yeah,
Yep. She gonna have a bright future for real. Yeah, we gonna make sure of it. That little sister gonna have a bright future. So, anyway, Rebecca, talk to the people as we get ready to go to after party. Y'all come meet us over at the after party. Patreon.com/Like It or Not. Or if you're a Benjamin Dixon Show patron, click on the link every morning for all the patrons. There's some patrons who aren't able or who don't realize what we do. Every morning we post the private chat, the private stream for all of our patrons and all of our Twitch subscribers. Just go to your Patreon page, whichever Patreon page you're subscribed to, and go to Twitch and you'll see the link. Hang on a second. I know because I want to make sure. But yeah, go click on that link and you can get access to the after party. That's coming up next. Rebecca.
I just wanted to say definitely all that Ben just said. And for anybody, it's Wednesday, so I'm going to dedicate this especially to my women, all my women. It is your day. It's Women Crush Wednesday. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but this one's going to be for you. I hope that you guys are feeling beautiful today. And if you're not, do something very special for yourself. Whatever that thing is, take a picture, take a cute little selfie, tag me in it if it's on Twitter or whatever, so I can repost and show you guys some love. So if you guys are patrons or, part of the party, please definitely head over to the link. Make sure that you share it with whoever you need to share it with, and then have them become patrons if they're not. And make sure you go and like the Like It or Not page, because we want to be streaming more from our pages that are associated with our brand. So we want to definitely keep that growing. And with you guys, we can do that. So if you don't already, get on our Facebook page, Like It or Not. Not that page from early on in the year. We're talking about Like It or Not. Go to Like It or Not, like the page, share it, go down the video list and like that, watch it. We need to get that. We need to get our likes up on that page and our shares up on that page. We want to give that page some life. So Like It or Not, definitely you'll find that on Facebook. And we're also on, where we at, Ben? Because I know we're on Twitter because we don't know.
But also,
our Twitter page yet.
But also make sure on starting this coming Monday, we're going to be streaming Like It or Not on the YouTube Like It or Not page and the Facebook Like It or Not pages, because that's where we're going to continue to grow this community and build this community. So do everything that Rebecca just said. I was
looking for the word algorithm. So yes, to get our algorithm up, and make sure head to Facebook and then Instagram. We need our likes and whatever's up to. We have to start streaming from all of them. So people who be on Instagram and on our Facebook page and on our YouTube. And once we figure out Twitter, we got that too. We're going to be all over the place. We want to make sure we stay in your brains. And for those who don't like watching on YouTube, you'll be able to watch from the other platforms. We're trying to work it out for you. Okay. Love you guys. Meet it. Head over
Alexa, play Cardi B Up.
You didn't get her.
That's what we want. We want our views up. I know. She's also Diddy.
She is.
That's it, James.
Who's that, Bubba? No, don't worry about it.
We're not answering Bubba.
Here go Bubba again.
Right.
All right, y'all.
There goes Bubba's
meet us in the
ass.
after party. Right. Look, there goes Bubba's ass. But no, meet us in the after party with all my teeth.
Oh, here we go. After party is coming up next. James, it's in your hands.
Thank y'all so much again for tuning in and joining us today for the public show. We hope that y'all enjoyed it. You know that we have no sense, but great news, politics, talk, whatever it is that you want and that you need, you know that we will provide. So make sure that you hit that like button. Send us a comment, share this page, everything that you need to do. Like it or not, y'all. Make sure that you follow us. Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook. Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, y'all. And let's go to the after party.